Not backing down. That is Blanca, along with Tadashi here at Real Life Radio, 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine. And good morning. It is 7:16, and we welcome you back to the Vine Morning Show on this Tuesday morning. I'm Mark, and it's great to have you along this morning. We welcome those watching this morning on our YouTube channel and also cable TV channel 15, as we have some special guests in the studio with us this morning, and we welcome Layne and Chelsey Michaels from Centralia. Guys, good morning, and thanks for coming in this morning here on the Vine Morning Show. It's great to see you and great to have you in the studio with us.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Well, you're quite welcome, and you guys are here in honor of National Autism Month, which is this month, and we thank Judy and Brian Bennett for they're dedicating a day, this day of special day of broadcasting, so we can draw attention to autism. And your son, Finn, 4 years. I was hoping to meet him this morning, but he's not here, and I understand that. But tell us a little bit about Finn. And Layne, we'll start with you, I guess.
Well, he's a 4-year-old boy, obviously full of energy. He's got a smile that'll light up a room. It's just magnetic. But, you know, with all of his good does come a roller coaster of emotions of you know, he has his great days, and then he has his days where he's not really feeling it. And I think the biggest thing for us is with him is we know he's a gift from God.
Amen.
And we know that God gave him to us because he knew we could handle him. And, you know, for that, it makes me happy. And biggest thing for me is to raise awareness so other people know how to treat kids like Finn, because he's very special and he's touched so many lives. Sure.
Now, and I ask you this off the air, but you guys have other children other than Finn, right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. And they're fine? No, they don't have autism or anything like that?
No, everything is, you know, classified, you know, they're normal.
Sure,
you know,
sure.
For lack of better words.
Sure. Chelsey, let me ask you this question. Thanks for coming in this morning. When did you find out that Finn had autism? At what point in his life did you notice, or did you have an idea something might be going on?
Probably he was about a year and a half, because he had started saying normal. I mean, like was acting just like other children. I mean, he started saying words, and then it just kind of stopped, and he kind of just started degressing, it seemed, a little bit. So I'd say it was about a year and a half.
At about 1 year old, we actually have videos of him saying 1, 2, 3, jump, and he would actually say, you know, count, and he was progressing just like all the other kids did. And then, like she said, about a year and a half, you could kind of just gradually see that he was just starting degressing. His speech wasn't progressing anymore. He started
just not saying
those
words that he was saying.
And you could just see it sort of just kind of hit a wall. And, you know, activity level, man, he's no lack of that. You know, it just, like I said, all of his skills as far as his speech and communication stuff, you could just see it start to degress.
You know, a lot of people, they're not aware of autism, or they may not know what autism is. What is autism exactly?
It's hard to explain.
I mean,
because there's really not a scientific explanation, because we don't even really know what even causes it.
Sure.
So, I mean, for him, like we kind of discussed earlier, you know, he's just wired a little bit differently. He's quirky. He still shares all the same emotions that we do. But, you know, autism is just basically his brain's wired differently, and he just sees things in a different light as what we do.
Yeah, the definition is bio-neurological developmental disability is what the definition is here. But along with autism comes like what we have in our life when we're healthy. We have allergies, but they have the similar symptoms. They can have it worse than what we can at times, right?
That's correct. I mean, you can attest this more because you're with him throughout the day while I'm at work. But I mean, his senses to sight, to colors, his sound. I mean, everything it seems like it's just magnified for him.
And autism is and I read a stat the other day that autism is diagnosed 4 times more often in boys than girls. Do we know why, Chelsey?
I've not read anything as to why, but it's funny because I was just reading that the other day and how much more prevalent it is in boys than girls. I mean, I'm not sure. I've not read anything as to why, but I have read that.
Yeah, and what's some of the things Finn loves to do? I mean, I'm sure he's full of energy, like you said,
Yes,
Layne. But
very.
at what stage? What does he like to do the most at this stage of his life?
Watch Toy Story.
Watch Toy Story. I don't know what kid does not want to watch Toy Story.
He loves Disney movies right now and music. He's very into music.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you guys go to the Centralia First General Baptist Church where Brian Bennett is the pastor.
Yes.
And Judy is here. She's your moral support today. And how did Judy come to know what was going on with Finn? Did you go to her? Did you go to them to talk about what was going on? As they're your pastor, did you look for them for guidance on certain things with him? They knew.
I mean, you could see it.
Sure.
I mean, it's pretty evident. And they have, to be honest with you, Brian and Judy have a grandparent relationship with Finn that I can't even explain.
Sure.
It's that much of a tight bond that they have with Finn. They bonded with him. I can't even explain how much they bonded with him, but they could see. I mean, I don't want to speak for them and answer, but I think anybody who's around Finn on a regular basis could kind of see that the progress and just kind of, you could just tell. I mean, he started, I'd say about 14 months or so, he started moving the hands around a lot.
Yeah.
And then, I think we call it hand flapping, but I mean, when he gets really excited, the hands will just go crazy, and they notice it. I don't know how you couldn't not notice it.
Sure. Is autism something, is it treatable? Is there any medication for autism? Does he take anything for autism?
No, I'm like, you can go through different therapies that can help with it. I mean, he does different things in school that definitely will. I mean, he's shown very much improvement since he's started going to school.
Is he in like regular classes, or is he in like a special class that he has to go to?
Yeah, he's in an early childhood class right now, and we're not sure what he's going to do next year, but it'll be in another type of that type of a classroom. But
we're very blessed. His teachers have really done well with him.
Yes.
Miss Sue has been fantastic, and he has an aide, Miss Julie. She's been just terrific as well. And we've been real lucky, too, that Finn's taken to them, because Finn doesn't just automatically take to just anybody.
Sure.
The fact that he took to Brian and Judy the way he did was remarkable from the aspect of he literally took to them in a loving situation like a parent or a grandparent. And he takes to his teachers similarly, too.
Sure.
Lucky.
I was reading also too. It affects 1 in 68 children, and boys. It affects. It affects girls as well, but boys more often than the girls, right?
yes.
Yeah.
That's what.
Does he like sports, Layne? Does he like to play sports or baseball or anything like that? Or
Not yet.
Not
He
yet.
likes to carry balls.
He likes to
around.
carry. Anytime he sees anything of a round shape, he does. And when we kind of started realizing Finn was this way, of course, myself, I referee sports.
Sure.
Yet I played basketball through college, so for me, sports is a big part. I'm just an enormous Chicago Cubs fan. I may offend people with that, but for me, sports is a big part of my life. So
Sure.
Having the son. I was excited. I can't wait to get him to the park, play catch with him, teach him how to do all these things. And then you realize this, it's hard to back up and realize, okay, he's still very special. We're going to have to find that special bond. And luckily with Finn, he's such a loving child, it's been easy to do it.
Is there a sleep disorder with autism, or does he have that kind of an issue at night? Is it hard for him to go to sleep with the excitement level he's at with this, Chelsey? Or?
Not so much anymore. I think it depends. If he tries to nap throughout the day, then his nights might get a little crazy. But I'd say before, though, he was awake a lot. He would wake up a lot during the night. But, I mean, now I think he wears himself down so much that he stays asleep throughout the night, usually.
One thing that someone asked me one time, and I read something about potty training at that age. Is it hard to potty train someone with autism?
We're that's
Very.
We haven't got there.
Not yet.
No.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had some moments where he'll show a little interest, and then if it's the thing we've noticed about Finn, and I understand with boys this is to a certain degree, but with Finn it's magnified by 100. If it's not his idea, it's probably not happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got to be his idea.
Wow.
It's like waking up in the morning. If he wakes up on his own terms, he's not so bad. But if he don't wake up on his own terms, it takes a while to bring him back. Adjust, yeah.
And does he wake up? He's sleeping more throughout the night now, or
Yes.
yeah.
He used to wake up, I'd say a couple times at least.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean,
now he just wakes up. Sometimes he'll wake up at 4 in the morning and be raring to go, even though he didn't fall asleep till. It doesn't seem like he requires as much sleep as the other kids do.
Yeah.
What's the appetite like with someone that has autism?
No
problem there. He loves to eat.
Yeah.
Oh,
loves
yes, very much.
Yeah, wow.
He's not very picky at all either.
No.
Now
Well,
he did go through a stage.
That's what I was going to ask you next. Is someone with autism picky about what they want to eat,
would
or
say-
do they
I
favor
mean-
one thing or the other?
Some of them, I'm sure, are because different. I know that some autists.
Textures.
Yeah, textures really bother a lot of them, but I know with him, he's not with food.
No, not with food.
Different textures though, like.
The one thing about his eating, though, I mean, he still has a lot of difficulty wanting to feed himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like
He wants you to help.
He wants you to help.
Sure.
So he's fully capable of doing this, and he has, but he'll still take a lot of cases. She feeds him the majority of times. He's so used to it. Because the one thing about Finn that is very prevalent is routine.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so used to Chelsea feeding him, so he'll take Chelsea's hand and he'll put it on the fork, and he'll take the fork in Chelsea's hand and he'll stab it, and then he'll eat it that way.
Sure.
So I mean, he really, he likes to have that assistance from mainly her, but yeah, he likes to have that. He needs that.
Sure. Well, it's great to have you guys in the studio. You can stay with us for a little bit. We're going to talk a little more, and we're with Layne and Chelsey Michaels this morning from Centralia. They attend First General Baptist Church in Centralia. Pastor Brian Bennett, his wife Judy. Judy is here this morning as a kind of a support, and we thank Judy and Brian for this dedicated day here on the Vine, as it's a special day as we're bringing awareness about National Autism Month, as this month, April, is National Autism Awareness Month. And we're going to come back and talk more with Layne and Chelsey and talk about more in their daily life with Finn coming back here on the Vine Morning Show in just a little bit, so we encourage you to stay tuned.
To Your Health, a community service of Fairfield Memorial Hospital and WVYN The Vine. I'm Lyle Dean.
And we welcome you back to the Vine Morning Show. Here we are on a Tuesday morning. I'm Mark. It's great to have you along this morning as April is National Autism Month, and with us in the studio this morning is Layne and Chelsey Michaels as they attend the Centralia First General Baptist Church, where Brian Bennett and his wife Judy, Brian's the pastor, and his wife Judy, they attend the church there along with Chelsey and Layne, and they've been a big support for you guys, right? Chelsey, I'll let you speak. Judy left, so we're gonna brag about her for just a moment. She didn't want to be on the mic, but she's been a big support for you guys, right?
Yes, very much. They've impacted our life very much. I'm getting sorry.
Even you take Finn out of the equation, they've impacted our lives.
Sure.
Just even without Finn, even with our other kids. But with Finn, like I said, they've developed a bond with Finn that I can't even begin to tell you.
Sure.
And they have that grandparent bond with Finn. I mean, the almost like a parent bond. I mean, they have that grandparent bond with him. And
Yeah.
And Finn has always taken to them too. Finn says so few words, but he says Judy.
Judy and Brian.
He says Judy and Brian very well, and for the longest time he'll run into the church, and the first thing he'll do is he'll run up to Brian, throw his arms up. He wants Brian to hold him.
I didn't mean to put you on the
That's
spot,
okay.
but people like that, it's special to have them in your life.
It is
I know how you feel.
Yes.
And I get choked up about it because of someone special in our life too. But didn't mean to put you on the
It's
spot like
okay.
that. I understand that. But Layne, tell us a little bit about an incident that occurred at the mall.
My wife and I and Finn and McKenna, our 8-year-old, were at the mall, and they were at JCPenney. So we decided to take a little walk and went to Lids, the hat store there, because it's baseball season. And anyway, we were standing there, and Finn started getting excited. And it wasn't even bad. He was just excited. He was happy. And
Sure.
his hands started going. He almost to a point where he was so excited. Something in the colors, I don't know what it was, but something excited him. He was almost even to the point of he was even almost like squealing. He was so excited. There was about a 55-year-old man standing there buried in his phone, and he looks up at me and he goes, I think I would have left him outside, or better yet, maybe even at home. And I looked at him. I said, oh, okay. Well, I said, sir, he's just excited. He can't help it. He's autistic. And he looks up and he goes, well, he sure don't look autistic. And I fired right back at him, just saying, well, you sure don't look ignorant either.
Mm-hmm.
So, he went back to it, and it kind of initially it upsets me because Finn can't help it.
That's
he
true.
He doesn't know.
That's
you
right.
know, and he was happy. He was happy, and he can't help the way he acts like that. And it was ignorant, because people are ignorant about.
They don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
They know nothing about it.
Right.
Raising some awareness is fantastic, because he is special. He's special in his own way, and and people just automatically see the hand flapping he does and think, oh, he's weird kid. And
Yeah, we get a lot of looks out in public, but I mean, that's why it's so important to do things like this, to raise awareness and get people more knowledge about it.
Is there a like maybe an organization, a group that you guys are a part of, or are you looking? I know, Layne, we were talking off the air. You guys are still new to all this, and you're still learning yourself.
Absolutely.
And one thing you mentioned off the air is you guys are kind of concerned about the bullying effect down the road. I mean, you're getting the looks now, but that's something that could come down the road. But it's awful important. It's very important that parents be aware of other children out there that are going to be different from their children, as in the case of Finn when he starts going to school with other children.
Yeah. And he is going to school right now in early childhood with other kids, but luckily he's segregated. He's secluded with other kids to where it's not an issue, and he has his own aid. But as far as the bullying aspect, it is a huge, huge concern of mine. It's something I worry about on a regular basis, because this is a 55-year-old man at the mall who literally could have walked 5 feet the other direction and just totally walked away from the situation. He had to say something. I'm not even sure what the statistics are as far as the bullying is concerned, but autistic kids getting bullied is outrageously high, because Finn's kind-hearted. He's not going to be able to tell us.
Right.
At this point,
thankfully we have McKenna, and she's his 8-year-old sister. She goes to school with him, and she's very protective of him. And she doesn't see the.
It was hard for her at first, because I think she, especially when Chelsey was expecting, she wanted that little sibling to play with and have this bond with, and the fact that if it's Finn's idea, it's a good idea, and if it's not, it's not. But she's protective.
She's very protective of him.
Neighborhood boys were all playing, and she's very quick to tell everybody, Finn don't talk much. He's autistic. That's okay. So that really,
she's very accepting of it now.
Extremely accepting.
I think she understands a little bit.
To a point where I think she actually goes out of her way to even talk about it and announce that he is autistic, and that's why he acts the way he acts.
Sure. And we were talking too, there's no medical test like a blood test to diagnose the disorders. It's all, the doctors look at the child's behavior and development to make the diagnosis. And you would think there would be something out there that the doctors could know immediately that through a test, like a blood test of some sort, that for sure.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, it's like many diseases out there, they're hard to diagnose, and you have to just continually keep doing follow-ups to see where they're at their stage in life.
Yep.
And it's very tough. But there's do people come to you? Do you talk to many people that have autistic children, or has people been reaching out to you now that they know that Finn is autistic?
We in our area, I don't really know a whole lot. I have a friend who also has an autistic son that we just recently kind of connected about.
I have a friend whose best friend has an autistic child too, but it's I don't really know unless they're in your circle of friends. You really don't really know. I mean, personally, I'd love to be able to reach out to other people who have autistic
I would,
children.
yes.
One,
Me
just
too.
to share common stories and common issues and
Sure.
problems.
And it's nice to relate to other people that are going through the
Yeah.
same type of things that you are. Because, I mean, even when you are talking with people, you know, your friends that have kids, it's kind of hard sometimes because your child may not be.
But it's hard too. We have friends who have kids the same age as Finn, and their kids are doing.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, their kids are doing all these things. They're, you know, they're having these great conversations, and they're taking them places they're things that, you know, for Finn, you know, it's like when he was born, we had that same level of progress, and all of a sudden it was like just went down. It just curtailed. And for them, it continues. So I mean, they're sharing these stories about their kids who are doing all this, and you know, ours is still stuck in a 1-year-old mode, I guess, for lack of a better words. I don't really know how to even explain that part. But he's stuck in that mode. You know, we still have to treat him like that. We still, if he doesn't want to go into a store, we physically have to pick him up and carry him yet. And we're talking a 4.5-year-old boy that's 48 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, he's a good-sized child.
Sure.
You know, it's.
And Judy was saying too, there's other kids like at church that, you know, that may not know how, you know, what's different about Finn than what's them, and you have to kind of explain it on their level. And how do you do that so quickly? You know?
I'm glad you mentioned that. Education is huge, especially with his siblings and like the other kids at church. You know, our oldest, you know, our older daughters, Leslie and Cameron and McKenna, you know, we sat them down last weekend and we let them watch a couple videos. Because the biggest thing is we want to educate them of, the biggest thing is they're going to come across other kids who have disabilities and who are different, not just autistic, but just disabilities in general.
Right.
So we want them to be sympathetic to what these people are going through. Because in the case of Finn, he can't help it.
Right.
And
Anybody
and
who
also
has.
we want them to be sympathetic about what Finn's going through and what we're going through with him.
Sure.
You know, they understand too that, you know, days for, especially for her who's with him the majority of the day, you know, all the time. Because even when I'm home, she's still around him.
Sure.
So she's around Finn literally 99.9% of the time. You know, she gets tired, she gets frustrated, and you know, and I understand why. He's a handful.
Sure. Your advice to, and I'm going to ask you here in a moment, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how can they do that? But your advice to parents that maybe are just now discovering their child has autism, what advice do you offer to them, Chelsey?
Just take it one day at a time. It's difficult at first to be accepting of it, and
what about you, Layne?
I think as far as from a parent's perspective, I think I shared with you off the air too. For me, it was I tried to deny it for a while because
Sure.
I had the son. I can't wait to take him to baseball games. Can't wait to take him to basketball games. The biggest thing is to see what's special in him.
Yeah, and at first I know that's not your first reaction to it.
My first reaction was, oh, he's just a typical boy, stubborn.
Sure.
He'll grow out of this. You know, her dad likes to make the comment, oh, it's just a season. Well, the season's still there.
Sure.
And you know, I think but for other parents, hitting it early is also
yes, very much.
You know, if you have a question, and this is the hard part, try and talk to other people about it. Because as parents, we think our children are perfect in our eyes. You know, we don't want to accept the fact that something's different.
And that's why it's so hard, you know, at first.
It is.
Because you dream and have all these,
yeah.
you know, visions of your children and how everything's going to be. And then when you find something like that, you think, okay, now, you know, they're never going to do these things. But like you said, you need to find what's the special part of this.
Right.
It's not all negative.
Yeah. Do you guys know, is there a certain website people can go to discover the symptoms, or are you aware of that, or?
We've gone to
you found a
Autism
lot.
Speaks. I think .org maybe. I think we've used that a lot. They have a Facebook page as well that we've used, and they've shown a lot of different stories, statistics, and.
I found a phone number here too, guys. It's if you can't find the right contact information for your state, there's a technical assistance center. It's the Early Childhood Technical Assistance Center. You can call them at 919-962-2001, 919, and that number is 262-2001, and you can get more information. Now, how can people get a hold of you guys if, say, I want to talk to you, and will you be willing to reach out and talk
Absolutely.
to people? How can they get a hold of you, Layne?
I can give them my phone number.
Sure.
Anything like that. I mean, of course, I'm always able to take text messages and accept phone calls. Same for you, I'm assuming. Yeah. I'd love to be able to hear from other people about this, because it is something that's near and dear to our heart now.
Do you have a Facebook page? Can people contact you on Facebook?
Yep.
Absolutely. We both have Facebook pages. We do the social networking from that perspective too. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming in this morning. Layne and Chelsey Michaels from Centralia talking about Finn, who has autism. This is National Autism Month, month of April. Anything else you'd like to offer for the listeners? And
I think as far as awareness is concerned too, when you asked about the what they can do to start seeing the signs, a lot of local schools offer the early childhood programs.
Sure.
Go up there and at least check and getting them into it, because those teachers are qualified to
do. That's what they're
look at these things. We've been extremely blessed that Miss Sue there at Willow Grove has been doing this for a lot of years, more years than we are alive. So we're really blessed that she's literally seen probably every level of autism there is.
Other disabilities
and
as
other
well.
disabilities as well. But, go to your local school and see what they offer, because these local schools do offer programs, they offer classes, they do offer these things, and it's a good start.
The biggest thing is awareness. Make yourself aware of this and accepting.
You got to be accepting of it, because that was hard for me personally.
Sure.
It was really hard.
Sure. Layne and Chelsey, thanks for coming in.
Yes, thanks for
and you got a beautiful boy. He's an awesome. I was hoping to meet him. Maybe someday I can meet him.
Yes.
Yep.
And but he's a beautiful young man,
Thank
guys.
you.
You're proud. God's blessed you with a great young
he
man.
has.
He sure has. Thanks for coming in. All right, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Layne and Chelsey Michaels from Centralia with us this morning, talking about autism this morning, and their son Finn, who is 4 years old and has autism, as the month of April is National Autism Month.